welcome to a Light Chat. It's a short interview series where we discuss all things relevant to lighting. Joining us as always, our resident expert, Frank Grobmeyer. And today we're excited to sit down with Tom Ciurczak, a musician and former lighting industry executive, to discuss why manufacturers are always changing their products so quickly. With today's topic, the constant evolution of LED lighting. How did you get involved in lighting? What was it about lighting when you were younger that you decided this makes sense for me?
I went into this company called Macbeth Sales, which was part of Macbeth Division. And this guy, Brian Ahern, holds up a little bi-pin halogen lamp and he goes, "You think you can sell this?" And like any good salesman, I just lied. So I said, absolutely, I can sell that. Up until a couple of years ago, the number one light bulb that we sold in the world was the 60-watt incandescent lamp, which was the lamp that Thomas Edison invented, which, took 100 years before. And then all of a sudden, biggie bam, we went right to LEDs in like a period of 10 years. If you let the markets dictate, you'd have a much longer progress in terms of the changeover from current market to the new market, and that smoother transition, you'd have a lot less problems.
Now we transitioned to LEDs in these product life cycles. I mean, they're extending a little bit now, but they've pretty much they were 6 to 12-month life cycles, and you were coming out with new products.
You saw GE, Philips, Osram, they're all selling off and getting out. Why are they getting off? Because they realize that the game has changed much more than they ever anticipated it was going to change, and that their ability to control the market like they did with analog light bulbs is no longer there.
They changed these generations of fixtures for really 3 reasons: to either make it better, to make it cheaper, or because a component in the system got discontinued and they've got to come out with a new LED that's got a new spec or whatever. Would you agree that those are really the 3 reasons?
I'm going with number 3. Ding, ding, ding. Number 3. Well, this is probably the most disruptive change in the lighting industry.
If you look at the last, let's say 5 to 10 years of LED, what would you say are the best advancements that we've made?
What we really want to be able to do is take the semiconductor chips, and we want to be able to use that digital power for control. The idea of putting all of these LED fixtures in the ceiling as cell phones in the ceiling, because effectively they can be as powerful a light fixture as your cell phone.
They've made everything adjustable and field selectable. What do you think of that as an advancement in lighting?
No, I think all of that falls under the control umbrella. You've got a semiconductor chip. What do you do with semiconductors? The part suppliers are all, being forced out of business. And once the part suppliers go, you're not going to make, analog light bulbs, because you're just not going to have the parts to be able to do it anymore.
But does the knowledge of that help somebody in the business today, somebody who's had that background in traditional light sources or traditional lighting design versus the digital era and digital design? Does that help them at all?
I like to hope so, but as I said, they're aging out, and as they age out and the new guys come in, it's a whole new world out there, Frankie. If you're going to compete in this world, what's the value add that's going to separate us from everybody else? And it's quite a balancing act, because one of the biggest hurdles is you got to have inventory. If you don't have inventory, you're not getting a sale. It's a whole Goldilocks thing, not too much, not too little, just right. And I think the people at Plus Right, Natural LED, have done a very, very good job of getting it as close to just right as they can. There is a quality stamp that needs to come with the product that you're buying, and it's going to come by the brand.
How did you get into music, and what kind of music do you play?
So my dad was a professional trombonist at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, and they had a 125-piece band there, and they put everybody that was in that band in the same area. We call them quarters, And so the whole neighborhood was musical. So I started writing songs as my, area of expertise and my hobby and everything right around 13, 14. And I'd done it my whole life. And so, it's not something that I think anybody can just pick up and say, hey, I'm going to be a songwriter. No, 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 no. That's something that you've got to really, really work on like any craft. But as luck may have it, I went to a Steve Earle songwriters camp called Camp Copperhead. And there I met about 75 like souls. I mean, I found my lost tribe. Unfortunately, COVID hit. And so even though I, put an album out in 2020, I was right in the middle of COVID, so I really couldn't take it out live or what have you. We got it played at around 250 radio stations around the world, which was pretty good. So I decided I was going to one-up it, and I recorded a new album. And that new album came out August 4th. In fact, I recorded so much material that'll be 2 new albums. It's called I Ain't Ever Growing Up because, as you can tell from talking to me, I'm still young at heart. So it's the Tom Ciurczak and the Rhythm Rats.
I like the
like
name.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Sack and Rat, they kind of rhyme. So that's what we're doing.
Well, I look for faces in the crowd. I realize it's been a long time that I've been away from here. And all those faces aren't as clear, and all those nickel-dime affairs. Well, I was stuck in solitaire. You thought you'd find your millionaire. You thought I wouldn't even care.
But you've got the nickname Tokyo Tommy. That from your years of traveling to Japan.
Yeah, well, I needed something to say. I said nobody could spell my name, so I decided I would go with the Tokyo Tommy thing.
I will say you weren't kidding with the spelling of your last name. It is really difficult.
It never dawned on me. I've been spelling it since I've been a kid. I didn't realize nobody could handle it.
Well, you're spelling it for everyone because they go, what? What?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a problem.
I'm fairly certain you could come up with a good story about the lighting business.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be true, but that's
Well.
okay.
Maybe that's his next challenge.
Right.
That never stopped me before.
Well, thank you guys so much for your time today. Tom, it was a pleasure finally getting a chance to sit down with you and talk to you, and Frank, as always. I appreciate it. Plug where people can find you and find your music.
My website is tomciurzak.com, which is Ciurczak. But if you can't spell Ciurczak, you can find me on tokyotommy.com. Tokyo Tommy, 58.com, not Tokyo Tommy. That'll get you to some weird cartoon. Tokyotommy58.com.
Tom, I'd say don't ever grow up, but I know that you're never growing up.
Yep, not a chance.
Shameless plug.
Not a chance. Hey, thanks, guys.
Thank you to Tom and Frank, and thank you for watching today's episode of A Light Chat. Please like and subscribe, and follow us on the Natural LED YouTube channel for future episodes. We hope to see you soon.